Welcome back to the Awesome Agents podcast. Today we're talking about some truly mind-boggling numbers coming out of OpenAI.
Yeah, this one is wild. We are talking about $600 billion in planned compute spending by 2030 and a potential trillion-dollar IPO.
Okay, so let me just sit with that for a second. 600 billion on compute alone. That is more than the GDP of most countries.
It is. And to put it in perspective, their total revenue in 2025 was $13 billion. They beat their own forecast, which is good, but they are planning to spend roughly 46 times that on infrastructure over the next few years.
So where is the money actually going? Is this all about training bigger models?
Training is a huge chunk, yeah. They are projecting 440 billion just on training through 2030. But here's the thing that jumped out at me. Inference cost quadrupled in 2025.
Quadrupled? Just from more people using ChatGPT?
Exactly. Demand outpaced their capacity so fast that they had to buy emergency compute at premium rates. Their gross margins dropped from 40% down to 33%.
That is not great for a company trying to go public at $1 trillion.
Right. A healthy software company usually runs margins around 60 to 70%. OpenAI is at 33 and projecting maybe 52 to 67 by 2030. They already had to walk back their earlier target of 70% by 2029.
So how are they planning to fund all of this? Because 600 billion does not just appear.
They are putting together the largest private funding round ever. Nvidia is reportedly close to investing 30 billion as part of a round that could exceed 100 billion total.
Nvidia investing in their biggest customer. That is an interesting dynamic.
Very interesting. And then you have the infrastructure deals, a 300 billion partnership with Oracle, the 500 billion Stargate project with Oracle and SoftBank. They are also asking for federal loan guarantees.
Wait, a private company that is not yet profitable is asking the government to help finance its data centers?
That is exactly what is happening. And look, the Stargate project itself is ambitious. They are planning sites across Texas, New Mexico, Ohio, targeting nearly 7 gigawatts of compute capacity.
For people who do not think in gigawatts, how much power is that?
A typical nuclear power plant generates about 1 gigawatt. So they are talking about the equivalent of 7 nuclear plants worth of electricity just for AI.
That is genuinely hard to wrap your head around. But is Stargate actually on track?
OpenAI says it is ahead of schedule. But the information reported that there have been real disagreements between the three partners about control and responsibilities.
So the classic consortium problem. Everyone wants to build it. Nobody agrees on who is in charge.
Exactly. And more than a year after the announcement, some pieces have not materialized yet. So there's execution risk on top of the financial risk.
Okay, so let me ask the big question. Can they actually make this work? Because the math feels aggressive.
That is the trillion-dollar question, literally. The core tension is that their costs are scaling faster than their revenue. Every new user, every API call, every reasoning chain costs real GPU hours.
So they need the revenue to catch up to the spending, but the spending is what enables the revenue.
Right. It is a classic scaling bet. They are projecting 280 billion in cumulative revenue by 2030, split between consumer and enterprise. If the margins converge, it works. If they do not, this becomes the most expensive bet in corporate history.
And they are not the only ones going public. I saw SpaceX is expected at 1.5 trillion, Anthropic at 500 billion.
2026 is shaping up to be a historic IPO year. But OpenAI's case is unique because they are essentially asking investors to believe that AI infrastructure spending at this scale will eventually generate software-like margins.
Which has never been proven at this scale before.
Never. And honestly, that is what makes it fascinating. If it works, it validates AI as a generational platform shift. If it does not, well, a lot of very smart people made a very expensive mistake.
Either way, we are watching history happen in real time. Maya, thanks for walking us through the numbers. Folks, that is it for today. We will see you next time on the Awesome Agents podcast.